pound for pound king, WBO welterweight champion, undefeated Terence Bud Crawford, Taunts, Errol the True Spence Jr., IBF undefeated welterweight champion. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So Terence Bud Crawford takes to Twitter, takes to social media to taunt Errol the True Spence Jr. into a fight, stating that don't run, make the fight happen. He takes to Twitter, this being after his win over Amir King Kong on Saturday night. Terence Crawford goes on Twitter and he puts this up and he says that, don't run, make it happen. Thing about this is, my only gripe with this is what we wanted to do, but Terence Crawford had the opportunity to directly call out Errol Spence Jr. immediately following the fight. In his post-fight interview, he chose to allude to the fact that he wanted to make the fight with Errol Spence. He says, I can't force these fighters, to fight me, so on and so forth. I'm not the promoter, I'm just the fighter. My thing about that is Terence Crawford had that opportunity. He had the stage, he had the platform on a pay-per-view event, with the world watching. He had the boxing world, at full attention and focused on him. And he could have flat out just said, listen, I want to fight Errol Spence Jr. next. I'm telling my promoter, Bob Arum, to make the fight happen next. Errol Spence, let's make it happen. He opted not to do that. He opted to go the route of, leaving it up into the promoter's hands, leaving it up to everybody else. That's not how, this situation is going to work. You got to be direct. Terence Crawford had the opportunity when they were face to face, and they were going over, measuring each other up and sizing each other up and talking about who's going to do what, so on and so forth. When they saw each other at a fight, at an event, Terence Crawford should have took the opportunity, in my opinion, right then and there, while he had Bob Arum, his promoter, and Errol Spence, who said that he's his own promoter, he's his own boss, present at the time. He should have turned to Bob Arum right then and there and said, listen, don't make anything else happen. Don't make a Amir Khan fight. Don't look for no other fights. Don't look for Jose Benavidez. Don't look for nobody. I want this fight right here next. That's it. Make this fight happen. Then turn back to Errol Spence and say, listen, is that good? What do you need to make this fight happen? Do you need 50-50? While he had the world attention again, put Errol Spence on the spot, put Bob Arum on the spot, force them to make a decision right then and there. Excuse me. Right then and there, he could have forced them to make a decision, right? He could have forced their hand, both of them, Bob Arum and Errol Spence. Why? Because he could have said to Errol Spence, listen, my promoter's right here. Listen, Bob, I want this fight to happen next. I don't want you to give me anything else. I don't want you to look for anybody else. I don't want you to tell me Al Heyman don't want to work for you. Al Heyman don't want to work with you, should I say. Al Heyman's not trying to make the fight. Do whatever it takes to make the fight happen. Right then and there is what he should have said. And then he should have turned to Errol Spence Jr., who says that he's his own boss. He should have said, listen, I don't want to call Al Heyman. I'm talking to you right now. Is it possible? What do you need right now to make this fight happen next? Do you need 50-50? Do you need location? What do you need? You need to happen at Texas Stadium? Because I agree to that right now. Let's make it happen. I'm willing to make it happen. He would have put Errol Spence and Bob Arum on the spot, and they would have had no other choice but to make the fight happen. If you give them an escape route, they're going to take it. Not saying that Errol Spence is going to take the escape route, but Errol Spence has other opportunities. Errol Spence has, options, right? Errol Spence he could go and fight for the WBC title, which is the most lucrative title, the most sought out title, that green strap, right? So Errol Spence could go fight for that, right? That's a lateral move. He's not taking a step back, Errol Spence, if he fights Sean Porter for the WBC instead of fighting Terence Crawford. That's a lateral move for Errol Spence, right? Terence Crawford needs Errol Spence to make Now, the whole world wants to see Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. That's true. The world wants that fight. That's the fight the world wants, right? That's this era's version of Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather thus far, outside of Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. This is what the world wants to see. Just like the world wanted to see Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis, right? Fortunately for us, at that time, there wasn't too many big fights, people wanted to see that were clamoring for on this level, when Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis was on par to fight each other. But now we got Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, and also we have Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, right? So, the world wants to see it. It's time to make it happen. And so with that said, it's time to make the fight happen. And he could have easily put Errol Spence and Bob Arum on the spot. Errol Spence also has Keith Thurman. So he could unify twice before he fights Terence Crawford, because those two are in his backyard, right? They're on his side of the street, so to speak. That's what they've been saying, right? Sean Porter and Keith Thurman are on his side of the street, and he already has the IBF. So he could become unified. He could get the WBC. He could get the WBA, and he's the IBF champion, forcing Terence Crawford to be the B-side. You understand what I'm saying? If Terence Crawford keeps going on the pace he is with this situation with Errol Spence, he's going to be forced into the B-side. Should Errol Spence be victorious against Sean Porter? Should Errol Spence be victorious against Keith Thurman? And somehow that happens, because Keith Thurman said that fight is not happening until 2020. But let's say that fight does come to fruition, right? And he beats Keith Thurman. Now he's clearly going to be the A-side, where Terence Crawford is widely looked at as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He needs to seize the moment while the opportunity is there. Seize it, take advantage of it. That's what he needs to do right now, right? And when he has these opportunities, he's letting the opportunity slip away. He had the boxing world attention. He was the center of the boxing world on Saturday night, on pay-per-view, right, with Amir Khan. He had the opportunity to directly call out Errol Spence Jr. and directly put his promoter, who was standing in the ring with him, Bob Arum, on the spot. Instead of giving Bob Arum the out, you give Bob Arum the phone and the microphone, and Bob Arum is talking about Al Heyman don't want to make the fight. Al Heyman don't want to make the fight. He doesn't want a top-ranked fighter to be the PBC fighter. No, don't give Bob Arum the escape route. Don't give him an emergency route. No, tell him, listen, I don't care what it takes, get it done, because I'm already 31. I'm in the prime of my career. Don't wait till we get to the twilight of my career. Make it happen now. So it's all good that Terence Crawford goes on social media and puts these memes out and calls out Errol Spence, but you should have did it while the boxing world eyes was on you. Not people now. You have people that don't even have Twitter that didn't even see this. You understand what I'm saying? So you let opportunities slip away. Don't let these opportunities slip away. Call out Errol Spence Jr. when you have the platform to do it, and force his hand, point blank and period. Because Errol Spence has options. Errol Spence doesn't have to take the route of going Terence Crawford. He could go the route of fighting, like I stated, for the WBC and the WBA before he even thinks about stepping in the ring with Terence Crawford. And Errol Spence is not as old as Terence Crawford, so he has more time. So it's up to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is up against time. So, it's time that Terence Crawford takes the reins, takes his control of his own career, and force these guys' hand. Force Bob Arum's hand. Force Errol Spence's hand. Force the other PBC fighters' hand. Make it happen. But that's all I got for y'all, man. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Terrence Bud Crawford calls out Errol Spence via Twitter with a picture of Forrest Gump telling him, don't run, make the fight. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
The Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the Empress. Much love. Mwah.